Good day, third grade friends. Mrs. Treat here with another handwriting activity. We're doing 2 new letters today. They're very similar, so we're going to do amazing because they're basically the same. Turn to page 66 and 67. We're going to do the letter N and M today, and honestly, it's just one hump or two, kind of like a camel. So take a look at page 66, the letter N. If you see it, you can, I'm like covering a little part. Do you see the letter N there? Just boop, boop. These are just the connecting lines. That's why there's all these extra fancy pantses. So I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to do the hover trace. We are starting at the red line. Notice it all falls in that bottom half. Red to dashed is all we're working in today. We are going to go up. Notice it curves a bit at the top. All right, so it goes up, curve, down, stopping at the red line, up, to the dash line, curve down again, and then that swoop back up. To me, it feels like there's one extra hump, but these end lines are what are the connecting. So the actual letter is right there, all right? So let's try it. I'm gonna hover again, starting at the bottom, up, curve around, straight down to the red, up, curve around, straight down, and swooping back up. All right, I'm ready to come down here and trace. Let's do this. Find your green dot. Let's go up. It sort of goes at a bit of a diagonal. Down, straight. Retrace it back up again. We've done some retracing in the past. Halfway, come down, and swing it back up. Gorgeous. Look at that. Red or green dot. Diagonal up, curve down, retrace, curve down, and swing it back up. Looks like a beautiful letter N. Continue to trace if you want to speed it back up. I feel like, sometimes for me, if I go a tiny bit quicker, I feel like I can get my strokes a little bit more connected and smooth and even. If I go too slow, it almost kind of messes me up a little bit. But once I get the hang of it, I like to be able to kick up my pace a little bit. There, good. Once you've traced all the way across, we've got our 2 blank areas down below. We're going to fill them full of ends. They give us our guide points here at the beginning. Let's see if we can do that. Curve up and down. Curve up, down, and then swing that tail back up. Do it again. We want to fill it all the way across with letter N's. All the way across, remember to circle your best, and then we're gonna come back for our very next letter. All right, we just finished our N. We're gonna move on to M. Now notice the similarities. It's the whole one hump or two, kind of like the camel. This time, the exact same thing. I'm gonna hover. I'm gonna go up, down to the red, up, down to the red, and yet another up, down, and then swing it up. Again, we've got our connecting lines at the end. If I cover those up, your letter M is in there, but these extras are what connect your letters together. So that's where cursive is so fancy, because it all connects letter to letter. So there's that letter M, very similar to how we would write it. Of course, everything's kind of always slightly at a slant. Let's go ahead and start tracing. Green dot, we're gonna up halfway and down. Retrace, hump, and down, retrace that bump and down, and swing it back up. Very similar to the N. And again, I'm confident because I've done the N, so I can speed it up a splash. How we doing? I feel like the M isn't so scary because it's similar to a traditional M. Trace all your gray. Now, the true test comes when we go down below. Can we do it on our own? Find your green dot. Up, around, down, bump, bump, and swing it up. Not too shabby. Green dot, down, bump, bump, swing it up. Great. Let's go ahead and fill it in all the way across, coming back, circling your best, and then we'll come back next week and we'll do another letters.